Hello guys, good afternoon. For watching in your video, I introduce myself. My name is Ferry Kurniawan, number 19104265 tonight. Class Accounting by morning. My name is Dr. Mr. Umar Salim. The course is bahasa Inggris. Date and time Wednesday, 29th April, 2020. Okay, we answer the article B first, bab 2, part A, number 1. Understanding the phrase of history records is a phrase is accounting record where record are match besides on the phrase incurrent to obtain the goods and service. One accounting principle of certain accounting principle that we know so far is the principle of historical. The historical principle requires the art of cost to record asset, debits, capital, and costs. The definition of equation phrase the exam phrase agrees before fights involved in transactions. In equation phrase most cost in transaction between two first the art phrase my like transaction. This exam phrase can off on a transaction with example for concrete asset debit capital on a transaction. Number 2. Answer. Acquire basic or acquire basic is an accounting basic where economy transaction for accounting event are organization records and presence in the financial statement besides on the event of the transaction at the time the transaction occurs, regardless of when the cost in requests or files. When the revenue is recognized on an accrual basis is when the company has the rights to collections the results of the company activities. In the accrual basic concepts, when cash in actual records becomes less important. 341 the accrual basic and establishments on costs to be receivable and efforts because income is be recounts even to cost has ought to be received. Where cost basic has the intention that revenue and express are recurrences at the time of cash receipt of this service. The basic usually until by company that sell goods is installment, meaning that recognition of change in well in beside of cost transport. Answer number 3. Two-five of week transactions have take place. Calculation of profit and loss and references for the next year budget. Financial statement should be phrases at financial statement should be phrases at time interval to explain change in the company that will affect information or the make produces and display formats. Time like so the time finds between and processes of the desired information and the progress of information report time. Information with expect management will to respond event and problem. The information is not delivery on time will cause the information to lose values in increases to quality of information. These questions on time will also super management to will with encourage the occur in the informant. Answer number 5. Number 4. Because the amount the revenue will be reduced costs incurred during the transaction. Transparency represent and cost must be recorded in the same period determined whether the company experiences profit or loss during the transaction period and to carry out what follows will carry on in the coming periods. Number 5. Answer. In order to avoid quenching or to reverse the risk upfront of management money. Besides that, we a company financial record, we can find out what our biggest expenses are and be able to control our suffers in spending the money. Or if worshiper lost, therefore the financial statement must be processed complete and concretely so that there is no found and force. Okay, thank you. Finish to the part A. Next time, part B. What is accounting? What is accounting? Definition of accounting. Accounting the records of financial transaction along with strong, storing, retrieving, summarizing, and forensics the result in various report and analysis. Accounting is also a field of study and professors count this way. Example Example of financial accounting. On parts of accounting course, the forensic in financial information in the form generation for financial statement, balance sheets, income statements, and then the basis of people on besides the company discuss reform more the first in course with general absolute accounting principle of refers to a GIV. Example of management accounting. Another part of accounting focus on profit and companies management with the information needed to keep a diversified financially healthy. Uh, I heard some of the information comes from record transaction money of the analysis and report increment and statement and project amount based on various assumptions. General is information is not distributed to people besides of the company management. A fine example of this information are budget, standard of controlling operation and estimating selling price when accounting price of the New York. Or example of accounting. Some of the money are there example for accounting includes invites on accounting system, income to planning, SBC and reporting, auditing and financial statement on company and other organization, profit generation, business expense, financial planning for inferior. And accounting is placed to record transactions that occur with a company. Account divides into two major groups named real accounts and nominal account. Number one, account. Real accounts are the accounts contained in the balance sheet. Real accounts of A. Asset. Assets are assets that are contained and used is company activity. Asset consists of three types, namely current asset. Current asset. Company asset that usually used up for the lesson on your account is current asset are source being my most current liquid. Current asset consists of cash, receivable, inventory, and others. Fixed assets. Fixed asset company asset the usually use up more than 1 year. Fixed asset for the equipment managing basis. Outdoor asset. Outdoor asset company asset that cannot be classified in current asset and vice asset order as a consist of money under revised building under construction and order. Debts. Debt is corporation obligation. Debts must be paid of a country time. Debts consist certain debt. Certain debts compromising obligations that must defined in less than 1 year. Short-term debt consists of trades, debit, interest debt, fire debts, and after long-time debt. Long-time debt is conversion obligation that must be financed is more than 1 year long. The time debts consist of bank debts, bond debts, and other capital. Capital is the very rights to the asset of the company after the Dutch liability company can also be introduced as money and liability and other following give be and work to the company. Number two, nominal account. Nominal account are the accounting contained in the income statement. Nominal account consists of a income, revenues of profits of the company from operation and non-operation activity. Defines concept of revenue business. Revenue is business is revenue that company receives through its operation activity, for example, operating income. Income outside the business. No, business income, income the company receivable through on operation activity, for example, retained income. Because in cost accounting aspect explains two different types of accounting, but on this occasion I will not discuss it. Explains consists of explain business. Explain is business. Explain the are due to the company operation activity. For example, salary. Example, advertising. Example, electric loads active. Explain outside the business. Or out of business expenses are expenses that are due to not operation activity. For example, interest expense, bank administration example, and other. What is accounting? Annual draft accounting extras are the two quests of the game. I'm sure we trouble about that year are. Let's find what accounting is mine, why it exists, right? Exist. How old is accounting? Well, me tell you, it's all clear to be fun out. Before timer dating back to 7 years ago, the affirmative form of accounting was simple. A farmer will say alright, let's get someday tokens to reference how many sheep I have and how much when have and how many got and have and a big black stone and references go in water and we can keep track of inventory. A fine produce with very simple and token and we can company what we got is your to what we handle it. Yes, so we start make some simple equation and some comparison and somebody come up with the ideal parents that have the little rock and start to starting nothing on clay stable or with call on a well book with the years form of writing. I think so. How Croy is accounting, accounting website he understands and of modern civilization. So what is accounting? Well, fish is quantity, ignore is number love, number and so do you accounting is all about number second. Accounting is financial, it's natural and money. It means money, number about money, your two favorite the rights the accounting is meant to be useful. Now there will find of study in accounting theory and in at her day in another place we call text about accounting theory, but really the fundamental purposes accounting to be very practice fights of study also for what so far aspect of accounting Uzbek is making the equation accounting. What is business? A business is information of organization, enterprises, and income, commercial, industry, or professional activity. Business can be for profit entities or no-profit organization. They operate to fulfill and certain mission of core and services. The time The time business also refers to organization and activity of individual to produce and sell goods and service for profit. Business rank in scale from sole profits in international cooperation. Several lines of theory are geared which understanding business administration including organization, behavior, organization theory, and strikes management. The basic of a business. General a business begins with a business concept, that's idea and nine definitions of the nature of the business. Extensive market research may be necessary to determine where to in ideal into a business is feasible and if the business delivery relevant to consumers. The business name can be one of the most valuable assets of a firm. Careful consideration so there's a begin when causing a business operation under fictitious name must regress with assessment. Business months after the development of a business plan, which is for document detailing a business goal and objective, and strive how, how it will achieve the goals and objectives. Business plans are almost essential when borrowing capital to begin operation. It is also information determine the legal structure of the business. The funding of the type business is money need to serum permit and to regulation requirement and often this time to cooperation considered to be junior person. Thank you guys for watching in your video. Thank you. Well.